Welcome guys to part 3 of Guntersville. My name is Ethan Brooks Fishing if you are new to this channel. Welcome back to another video guys. And this is supposed to be actually day 3 of the tournament video, but I actually decided to make a recap video of what happened over at Guntersville. So without further ado, don't want to hold y'all's time too much, just want to give like a quick recap about what happened. So day 1 coming in, we got there around 10:30, close to 11. Decided that we wanted to go ahead and start fishing automatically. Got some breakfast and went on to the water. And our first spot that we decided to fish was a pocket. We had heard that throughout the week that pockets were a good deal for fish that were being caught. And we decided to start fishing these areas. And we ended up catching one fish, but it was actually in the back of a creek. We found a small creek with some docks in it. And we were like, okay, maybe this is a sign. So by day 1, we had one fish, not a keeper, but we caught it on a Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait and a Z-Man glass tech swim bait on the back of it. And from there, we decided, okay, let's go fish a little bit more areas just like this, try to figure out something, and then call it a day. We ended up fishing more areas like this as well as some riprap. Didn't really catch any more fish off that, so that was day 1 concluded. Got the boat ready for day 2, got a good supper in, went into day 2. So, day 2 came in and it was probably one of the most confusing but one of the most hard-working days I've ever had on the water. So we get there in the morning and my goal was to put my head down in this second day of practice and just fish. Beautiful weather that the Lord gave us, and right off the bat went to the first spot of the day, didn't catch any fish at the very first spot. Went to the second spot, which is at Marina, caught that first 2.5 pounder. So caught it once again on the jackhammer chatterbait by Z-Man, and also the Z-Man last tech swim bait on the back, white pearl, and decided, okay, maybe this is a small pattern that we found. So fished that dock just a little bit more, left it alone, went to the next spot that y'all saw, and Jacob actually caught 2 fish, both on a bluegill pattern swim jig with a little just swim bait trailer on the back. Caught 2 fish off of that, instantly left that spot. One was a keeper, one was not, but still thought automatically this could be one of our key spots for this tournament. Left that spot instantly, went to the next spot, which leads into the next part of the day. So the next part of the day was a little bit challenging, but we also learned a lot. So through this day, we went to registration, but on the way back from registration, or to and back, saw a ton of boats fishing offshore. Well, we ended up looking at the unit, and we saw they were fishing humps, bars, and also just creek channels. And how I like to fish and how we both like to fish, we both like fishing offshore and shallow, but we were like, let's figure out something about shallow, and then hopefully later in the day, if we have enough time, fish them offshore. Let's try to fish these spots that we have marked on the graph, and then if those don't work, let's go fish some offshore stuff. Well, from there, we kept on fishing back some creeks and grass. As y'all saw, Grandpa caught a 4 pounder and then a 2.5 back to back. So we're like, okay, let's leave this spot alone and let's book it and let's go fish some more grass and possibly some more offshore areas. So by the time we fished 4 or 5 pockets, really didn't catch any more fish. Looked at the time, had to be back at the ramp around 3:30ish to be able to put the boat up and go walk to the sponsorship meeting presented by Mossy Oak Academy. And from there, we just didn't fish any offshore. We fished one more little pocket. It was about a 15-mile run back to the boat ramp, and just took it back to the boat ramp and called it a day. Went to the sponsorship meeting, had an amazing time there, got some free stuff by Carhartt and Mossy Oak. Gave us some pretty awesome gear, and also Powderbait gave us some free baits. So with that being said, day 3 comes into play. Day 3 was totally different conditions, windy and cloudy, and of course Friday we had some cloud coverage later in the day, but Saturday was a totally different story. We had a 15 to 20 mile an hour winds coming out of the southwest, I think, or south, and also mostly cloudy for most of the day, but there was a little bit of sun peeking in throughout the day. And we just really couldn't find any fish. It was just one of those situations where we fished, and couldn't produce any fish, and we ended up going off to offshore. Jacob's grandpa had a few spots that were offshore, some humps, and also just some creek channels, and we ended up fishing that. Still no fish, so we were like, okay, let's go to our main spot that we caught our most weight at, which is at that spot where the 4 pounder was caught. So go back in there, and there was a guy fishing back there right on the spot where we caught it at, and we instantly thought, okay, what can we do? The guy, of course, he has the right to be fishing that spot. He was there first. We don't own the water, which is completely fine. We weren't mad about it at all. We wish that we could have been there before, because right when we pulled into that spot, the guy lost like a 3.5. But sometimes that's how it goes. When there's 300 boats there and also another tournament down the river at Scottsboro, the Big Bash Splash, you can't really do much about it, and that's just how fishing works. And we kept ourselves faithful, and we just kept on hard fishing through that area. No fish. The guy left. He left the area once we were on our break, so we finished up eating our sandwiches, and I ended up retying some more stuff. Fished that area for quite a while, just trying to see if there was a fish on there that would bite. No fish were caught there, so we instantly moved to some more spots. We actually found some main river docks that looked pretty good, pretty shallow. Still no fish, and our mind starts spinning. What can we do to find fish? We have about 3 hours left. What can we do? So we go to a place called North Saudi Creek and fish that for a while, and then we get a call from Chase and his dad. Y'all know Chase from the videos, from the creek fishing video, or pond fishing videos. And I get a call from them, or Jacob does, saying that their motor has messed up and they can't make it back to the ramp by their weighing time. So we called the tournament director. He said that he was okay with it, or they did call him. So we ended up going to where they were, which is called Waterfront. That's what the area is called. And from there, we started fishing docks. We still had about an hour left to fish before we needed to take them back for their weigh-in. So we were like, okay, let's fish these docks. We fished them in practice, no success, but let's just give it a shot. So I ended up tying on a Senko Gary Yamamoto Green Pumpkin. I believe that's what the brand was. If not, it was either Yum or Gary Yamamoto, can't really remember. But started fishing that weightless. Not instantly, but after a little bit of some color changes throughout the day, the cloud cover, Jacob hooks onto the first fish. And we're like, okay, maybe this is a pattern. Cast back in there, in the same exact spot, catches another fish. My mind clicks in, I need to be fishing this for the last 30 minutes. Cast in there, I get a bite instantly. Like, it's one of those hard ticks that you feel throughout your entire rod. I set the hook, I actually had the fish hooked for a few seconds, came off. So for the rest of the time, we said we're gonna fish these stretch of docks so much, try to get one fish to come out. I mean, we didn't catch it one more fish, but it's also short. So 3 short fish in the process of 20 minutes. And by the time we got done fishing, we had to take the boys back to their weigh-in. Of course, we were kind of frustrated that we didn't really find fish at the end of the tournament, but that's how fishing works. You can't just go out and automatically catch fish. It takes hard work, and it takes rearranging and adapting to changes. And we tried our best to adapt and just really couldn't figure out a key component on how to catch these fish on Saturday. So took the boys back to the boat ramp. They weighed in, caught I think 8 pounds and 1 ounce. And I give major props to them on such a tough day of fishing, and with motor problems, y'all still came out and ended up catching fish. Give y'all total props and give y'all a big round of applause for catching fish on this tournament. And that's pretty much how the tournament went. They went in and weighed in, got the boat ready, got some good supper at the lodge at Guntersville State Park, and headed home. But guys, that is the end of the series Guntersville. I want to thank y'all so much for all the support for these last 3 videos. It's meant a lot to me being able to fish this tournament. One thing, I want to thank Bassmaster High School for putting on the Southern Open. It was an eye-opening experience, and it was probably one of the best tournaments I have ever fished in my life. Words can't describe how awesome it was getting to go out, practice 2 days, and getting to fish this tournament, and just getting to really experience what goes on in the competitive world of bass fishing. Also want to thank my parents and all my family that supported me getting to this area, or this tournament, especially all the hard work they all do every single week to make sure that I can fish these tournaments, and just the endless hours of work they all put in for me to be able to go on these tournaments. I just want to thank y'all so much for helping me have the opportunity to fish this stuff, guys. But guys, that's all I have for y'all today. I want to thank y'all once again so much for tuning into these last 3 videos. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and we're at currently at 248 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, want to check out some more videos, go check out the rest of my videos on my channel. Also, if you are just a new person that likes these type of videos, go down, hit that subscribe button. It means a ton to me, guys. But anyways, that's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this Guntersville series. If y'all want to see some more series videos like this, hopefully in the upcoming months, I have a tournament in May on Douglas. I plan on making another video just like this right here. So if y'all want to see more videos just like this, comment below what y'all want to see. But guys, that's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching our top lines, and thanks for watching.